Welcome to the Agents Lounge podcast, where we talk all things real estate with the industry's top performers. Join us as we dive into the inspiring journeys of successful agents and uncover the secrets to their success. Whether you're a seasoned agent or just starting out, we got the tips and tricks to help you navigate the world of real estate. Brought to you by Integrity Comfort Solutions. So grab a seat and join us in the Agents Lounge.
Good morning and welcome to the latest edition of the Agents Lounge, sponsored by Integrity Comfort Solutions, your local leader in comfort solutions. We don't forget, we keep you comfortable. Today, Francisco and I are happy to be here today. We have our newest guest. Go right ahead, say hello.
Hi. Hello, I'm Linda Mora.
Hi, Linda. Welcome.
Thank you. That's so cute.
So I know you're a realtor here in the San Antonio area. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and why you chose real estate?
Okay. So I've been doing real estate for 8 years. I was saying earlier, I got licensed about 8 years ago. A lot of realtors don't know what they're doing until year 2 or 3. So my career started, kind of taking off at year 3. And then a couple of years ago, I went completely full time. It's worked out amazingly. The reason that I chose real estate is because I was saying before, my husband and I have 4 kids, and everything that we've always done, even before I was doing real estate, has been geared to being present with them. That means not miss any games, not miss any practices, not miss any type of, event that they might have. And real estate affords me the flexibility, still important to be disciplined, but affords me personally as a mom the flexibility of being there. Because my husband's in the military, so he can't, there's only so many days that he can take off of work. It's not as flexible.
So real estate obviously requires a lot of time outside of the traditional 9-to-5 schedule and stuff like that. Tell me, how do you as a professional balance those demands between work, family, and everything else in between?
So it's not a balance.
The imbalance.
The imbalance.
Yes.
So again, we have so many kids. He's in the military. I do real estate. And then we own a bouncy castle business. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we've owned this bouncy castle business for 12 years now. Again, everything that we do is with them. So even when we were doing bouncy castles, we were delivering and they had a table and chair, that they were pulling, and it was all these kids just kind of, pulling their own weight. And my oldest is 12 right now. So we've been doing it since she was little. Real estate is kind of the same thing. All of my clients know I have a child or 2 or 3 or all 4 of them with me when I'm showing a home. I hear them, again, my oldest is 12, my youngest is 6. I hear them walking in the houses and asking, how many square feet is it? So they are very much involved in everything that we do. And that is how we find the balance, because I'm at a practice and then I'm showing 3 houses and they're right there with me, so it's also taught them, kind of that I'm not just sitting at home watching.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine your day goes by in the blink of an eye.
Oh my gosh. There's not enough hours. What
made you choose real estate? Tell us about your professional background.
Yeah. So I went to St. Mary's. My background is in marketing. And everything that I've ever done has kind of, followed the marketing, social media aspect of it all. I've done social media for some schools in SAISD. And again, all with the flexibility. So real estate, especially now in this age where social media is so important, it just kind of cohesively, adapts to the marketing in the social media, channel. And so on top of it, giving me a little bit of flexibility as to how I'm going to use my time, I use what I love. I love to be present on social media. It's freaking free. You want to be in front of somebody, you want to be in front of 1,500 people at once, get on Facebook, get on Instagram. So, a lot of my business has grown due to social media. And, it just falls right into marketing. And the best thing I can market is myself,
Well, I think a lot of what real estate is marketing yourself as a trusted advisor, an expert in your field. What are some of the things that you would tell a prospective client about what you can do to help someone with this process?
Yeah. So, I am a perfectionist. I'm not jumping into something unless I know it inside, outside, backwards, frontwards, all of the things. So I'm going to come in here with a process. I'm going to come in here with a plan. You're going to be safe and comfortable with me. At the end of the day, this is a relationship business. It's not just a transaction. This is the largest financial decision of someone's life. And for me, if we go further back, I was saying earlier, my parents are from Mexico. So as much as the dream of, the home ownership is the American dream, and it's almost like a marketing scheme, right? But I took that to heart. So when I meet with a client, whether it's their first house, second house, third house, you're going to get this is personal for me. We're going to reach that next financial goal. I feel like as Hispanics, the reason that I take it so much to heart is because we didn't have financial literacy in our family, and that's no one's fault. That's no one's fault. Our parents did the best that they could. My parents, they've always told me, you need to save, you need to save, you need to be safe. But financial literacy, actually investments and how to use, leverage other people's money, wasn't there. So, when I meet with a client, all of that comes in, and I become let's do this. And let me tell you what you don't know, and let me guide you through, because it's a long process.
You brought up an interesting subject there on a related note. For someone who may be unfamiliar with the financial background required of this, the whole home buying process can be intimidating. And maybe if you're working with someone who doesn't have that background, what do you feel you could lend to that process to kind of help them not only understand home buying, but all the peripheral stuff that gets involved?
Yeah. So we approach it as a professional, right? I am the professional. I am the industry expert. There's absolutely a need for realtors. There's a lot of legalities involved. There's a lot of legal documents. There's a lot of, things that you can seek counsel for, things like that. That for the consumer is 30 to 45 days, so I'm going to educate you as much as I can, because you're not a realtor, I'm going to tell you, this is what you need first. This is where you need to go first. Even people who are not ready, I encourage everybody who is not ready to kind of get a financial picture, get with a lender, get a financial picture of, what it is that it looks like for you, because you won't know, even if you're not ready, you won't know what to work on unless they give you that financial picture. Because people are well, I'll pay down my debt. Well, sometimes that's not a good idea. Yeah. I will close on my credit cards. Actually, that's probably not a good idea. And so coming in with, especially now when people are I don't want to buy, I'm dang, this is you are getting so many really good deals right now with the rates the way that they are.
Well, with the interest rates, expand a little bit on that. What would be an incentive now? Because there's a lot of publicity out there, maybe causing intimidation or trepidation,
Yeah.
And I think it was just announced yesterday. This is Friday, October the 20th.
Yes.
Just so that everybody knows that this advice might not be
breaking news, courtesy of Air Integrity Comfort Solutions.
Yeah, so what's going on with the interest rate?
So they just went up a tad, a little bit more.
No, well, what is a tad in the real estate market?
So I think I heard that FHA is 7.9. Now, again, that's all going to depend on your credit, right? So what I want to get out there to the consumer is that no one knows. They can tell you what they are, but your financial situation is your financial.
So don't believe what you see necessarily when they're talking about interest rates. It's not a flat rate.
Generalization.
It can be from here to here.
Yes.
Okay.
So the cold hard facts are that the feds look at the rate of inflation, and if they don't like how inflation is up or how up it is, they're not going to bring down rates. That's just kind of how how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, you have so many personal variables, like how much debt you have, did you miss any payments, things like that. They could alter, what your rate is going to be. Now, I have some, things that I've put together for social media, but right now, when you buy, because rates are high and everyone else is scared, you can score some really good deals. You can get in there. There are houses now sitting for 50, 60, 100 days that sellers need to get rid of.
Yeah.
So you can go in there and offer less. You can go in there and ask for your closing costs to be paid. You can go in there and ask for, some money to buy down that rate, which a lot of builders are doing actually right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the flip side, when there's a low rate, that's amazing. You can get a low rate. 2 years ago, everybody went crazy for 2%.
They did. And then in 2008, before the bubble burst.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
So, but they were completely overpaying for houses, like completely overpaying. I mean, I had people bidding $50,000 over asking price.
Wow. Okay.
Like, no, I have people coming in buying, all kinds of stuff, cash, because the rates, because they could afford, with the cash, they could afford to pay more. Because on a loan,
Well, just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should.
Yes. So that's what happened in San Antonio. Then that drove, the price of the houses up. And once they close, what people don't know is that the house next to you, whenever they sell, now that becomes a comp for an appraiser and for somebody like myself. So now
what is a comp?
So a comp is,
I
guess
comparison.
jargon. Yeah. So it's what an appraiser uses to kind of come up with the value of your home.
Okay.
Okay. So I try to do the same process that an appraiser does whenever I price your home, because they're going to come in and appraise it anyway, especially if you're on a loan.
Mm-hmm.
So the appraisals now with these houses that have closed are so high. So now that prices your house that much higher. And for the consumer, like, they're trying to reach and reach and reach. And so San Antonio prices were just never meant to be as high as they were, a year ago. We don't have those types of incomes.
I was going to say, and they're building houses so rapidly, but the buyer qualifications, incomes, maybe may not be there yet. So it's kind of a little offset.
Yes. And that created, at least for builders, like a surplus. And now not only are people scared to buy, so there's not a lot of buyers. Now they have so many houses that they need to sell. So what do they have to do? They have to bring the prices down. They have to buy down your rate. They have to entice you to come in and try to buy those houses. So it's now we're just kind of stabilizing. It's just kind of.
Is it kind of leveling off a little bit?
It's leveling. Listen, the media is the media. They're going to scare you, and they do their job really well. They get paid the big bucks to do their job really well. They're going to tell you the market is crashing. These home prices are falling. They are falling. But let me give you a very basic example, which I give to all my clients. If there's a client out there listening, I've already gave it to them. We bought our house in 2018 for $268. It's a 3,000 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, a study, all of the things. In the peak of the 2% stuff, my neighbor, whose house is smaller than ours, sold for $405. Okay, that was in 2021. So in 3 years, it almost doubled because of the craziness. Today, if I sell it, I could probably sell it for I haven't looked at it in the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but last time I looked at it, maybe $390.
Oh.
So yes, it did come down, but not to $268. The rate that San Antonio is growing, it's not. You're always going to appreciate, at least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Speaking from personal experience, I bought a home in 2017, and it was 157 brand spanking new, hot off the press.
That's awesome.
And we sold it in 2021 for almost double that.
Yeah.
So
no, I believe it.
Yep.
And that was great. I was man, if she sold for $405, I can sell for $425.
Right.
Let's go. I told my husband, let's go. And the first thing he said was, but we're going to overpay somewhere else. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. I'm going to go somewhere, buy a house that I probably was looking at a year ago that was 400,000 or 500,000 and pay 650 or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, and even when we started looking, at the time, again, we were in the 400s, and my husband was like, let's look for another house. We bought this for 268. Let's look in the 400s. And I'm like, that's where we are right now. Like, if we look for the 400s, it's going to be the same house. So, that's where we are.
you start where you finish.
Exactly.
So he's pulling in a big circle there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
It's just kind of, but again, it goes to show you, even, 2018, 2023, so like 5 years after, I'm still a lot more ahead than I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, prices are falling, but not to where it's crashing, you know? San Antonio is growing so fast.
Well, where do you see the surplus of homes kind of concentrated at? Any particular side of town or neighborhood?
I mean, it's everywhere, to be honest. I have people coming into Randolph, so like the Northeast is booming. I grew up in the Northeast side of town. I know it well. New Braunfels, Shirts, Cibolo, Live Oak, all of those.
And they're they're expanding the interchange there.
I have always.
Right, yes.
The far west that's where we live now.
Alamo Ranch.
Hot. Further, my kids, we are, where Harlan High School is.
Oh, that's way out there.
Okay, but we're Medina Valley. So we drive even further. And all of that, if you guys haven't been out there, is completely populated.
That's out to 211.
211 connects 90 to Culebra to Bandera. When I go to Bernie, it takes me 46.
Oh, interesting.
They say 40. I heard the other day 46 is
For those that may be out of town, local jargon will fill you in on the next episode. We're just spitting out lottery numbers here.
I know. No, but all of the suburbs, that's where the new development is going to be. And there's, a ton of gentrification in downtown.
Well, the prices downtown have really skyrocketed,
yes,
I think.
Yes. So all of the money that they put downtown, the Pearl and all that stuff, the walkability, they kind of want to make it very like family, but hipster kind of thing, between
for the chic families.
Yes, for the chic families that want to walk to the zoo.
We're not there yet, Francisco. We're working on it, Chief.
People that want to walk to the zoo, stuff like that. I sold a tear down in there for $250? Was it tear down?
Wow.
Tear down completely.
Sounds like something we could do some work on there, Chief.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, again, I don't know that but the airport is expanding.
That's I live up the 281 area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and then the schools are like bursting at the seams. It's a hot place to be. So even though, even the rates, the way that they are, San Antonio affords people affordability who are coming from places like California, places like Texas.
Yes.
Or, sorry, not Texas, New York. Definitely still way more affordable. And then with remote work, and they're keeping their wages coming in here, like,
it works out.
Absolutely.
And I would think, based upon your background, you probably have the ability to work with a lot of relocating military families.
Yes.
I mean, that sounds like a niche that you have personal experience of and now professional.
Yes,
you want to expand a little bit on that?
Thank goodness. So, so my husband is Air Force. He works out of Lackland, which is the base that people, and they say the gateway to the Air Force. So new people coming into the Air Force, even people, that are being stationed there. So a lot of my business is relocation. Now, I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I know it well. I grew up on the northeast side of town until I was 21. And then I moved to the Alamo Ranch area when I was 21.
Yeah.
So I've been there for, 13 years now almost. And my mom still lives over there. So I drive the entire city.
You gotta love 1604. Not.
But whenever we need parts in the west side of town, we might have to call.
Give me a call. Give me a call.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we our guys, they go all over town getting equipment and parts that they need and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they cost a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm
and the gas to
sure.
transport them, right?
Oh my gosh, the gas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. So because I know that the city well, I can speak to that to people that are coming in from out of state. San Antonio has always had a small town feel as big as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just managed to, like, the people and the culture, we've managed to maintain it that way. You know, you go somewhere and you know, what school did you go to? Did you go to Southwest? Did you go to Judson?
Yeah,
you know,
their own
people
little
just
niche
know.
cliques. Sorry, buddy, you're not there. Just kidding. You're part of that Brownsville clique.
Or are you from the Valley?
Are you from El Paso, Laredo, or the Valley?
Yes. So it's nice to be able to speak to that. I know, even where we live, because my husband works at Lackland, like, I know that that's military heavy, you know, the presence. So I understand, you know, I can guide somebody coming into the state to the San Antonio culture.
So it's not just about finding the home, it's helping these military folks kind of adapt to our area, our schools.
Yes.
So I think that, I mean, that's probably something that you would probably excel at. In that avenue, amongst other things.
Yes.
Can you tell us about maybe a memorable or special deal or success story that stands out to you?
I am a very emotional person. So they all, you know, all of my clients become my friends. I can, let me think of one. I have a client that came in from, I believe it was Virginia. No, Wisconsin. They came in from Wisconsin. And they have a 12-year-old daughter. They were looking for a good school for her. I believe the husband was a photographer and he was going to be traveling in and out. And I was able to connect with her. She worked for the VA. So she was coming into town to work for the VA. And he was, you know, he still had a ton of contracts in Wisconsin, and but he wanted to establish his business here. And I wanted to see that for them. I wanted to see that because their little girl was the same age as my little girl. I wanted to see that because, you know, she worked for the VA, and that is like incredible work. You know, for a lot of reasons. They serve the service member, you know, and so it just, like, we clicked. Their little girl now, you know, I see is excelling here. He's expanding his photography business here. He's an amazing photographer, and they don't live, you know, far from me, and they're just like right there. And she drives into the VA every day. And I, you know, I love to see it. I love to see them. I love to see them after the transaction. The business for me starts after the transaction.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, you keep up with them, you make sure that everything is working.
So it's not just when you close on the home, that's
never,
it.
Never.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
definitely.
Most you know, business ventures probably don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, no. Yes, you're right. Because, you know, the consumer comes in a regular place, comes in and buys and goes. You probably get an email and you send them spam every now and then.
We don't know anything about that service.
No.
Oh yeah, we get spam.
Yeah.
You do.
I do. I'm the spam and from the spammer. So yes. Well, for those that are listening, I manage the operations, so that includes being a spam user.
Yes. Yes. No. Yeah. No. Definitely. It's good to build that to have the opportunity to build that relationship, because before you close, I'm seeing you almost daily. We're looking at houses. You're talking to a lender. I'm texting you all the time. You need this. You need that. I'm sorry, I was busy. They get to understand my schedule. I get to understand theirs, you know, all of the things. And then when they get into a home, and it's so exciting, beyond that, I had surgery this summer, so I'm going to, you know, call myself out, and I wasn't as great as I needed to be. And I switched brokerages recently, which is a story for another day. But I believe that as long as you care for your clients, you know, and you're genuine, like, they can feel that. They need to be able to trust you. This is, again, the biggest purchase. They need to be able to trust you with that. You're handling their literal home, you know, and so we're going to bring their family.
We can totally connect with that, because, you know, here at Integrity, this is their comfort, their safety, and so that's the way we treat air conditioning and heating. Is those customers are very important to us, just like your clients are very important to you.
I love that. Well, for you guys, especially in Texas.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's just a little tad warm this summer.
Just a tad.
Still October and it's pretty warm outside.
It's going to be 93
today.
degrees today.
But on Monday, it was 73 degrees.
Yeah, it was
so,
very nice.
yeah, we're in that faux fall area.
Transition.
Yeah, so.
You don't know what to put on the Christmas tree or get ready for vacation to the island or something.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's so true. So,
That's true.
I would imagine, one of the things I remember when I was buying houses at 5 p.m., what direction does the sun come in? So whether, you're going to stir fry or not.
Yes, that's so important.
Yes.
What direction is your house facing?
Yes. And so those are the types of things that definitely matter.
Sure.
So, we talked a little bit about real estate and your qualifications and what you do. What are some of the things about yourself? Like, what are your hobbies? Do you have interests? I know you've got your kids, bouncy castles and everything in between, but you as an individual, what do you think someone might want to know about yourself?
Well, just fun facts. My first language was Spanish. My parents don't speak English still. We speak Spanish at home.
My mom's the same way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my mom doesn't speak English. Yeah.
I know when your parents call because I recognize their voices already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I don't answer, they call the office.
Oh, I love that. That sounds like such a Mexican mom.
That's me. Yeah, they're like, can you tell him to call us? I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, your dad's looking for you like we're 12.
Yeah, I told them not to call the business line.
You gave it to them so now they can
that's
call.
It,
yeah. So let's see what else. This is very, I don't know if it's shameful, but I used to love to sing.
Shameful? I think that's fantastic.
I know. My dad was a recording artist in Mexico, and he always wanted us to pursue the music side of the things, and then
rancheras, corridos,
all of those.
It, huh?
Yes, we still like Mexican parties. That's what we do. It's karaoke.
I think that's kind of the status quo. If you're not familiar with those kind of parties, right? Yeah. We do that when we're happy, when we're sad, everything in between.
I love that. Yes, I love it. But right now, in this stage of my life, I have two. My youngest plays soccer and basketball. And that's Marco, and Marina is an all-star cheerleader. She's 9. And then Michael plays select basketball year-round. We watch that. And Melody is a middle school cheerleader. So I was not very sporty growing up. We didn't have that kind of money. But I've said this before, there's nowhere I'd rather be than watching them do their thing. Yeah. That gives me so much joy. Very, very short. We were told we weren't going to have kids for 3 years. And then they all came, and then they would not stop coming. Yeah. And then I tell people all the time, then they didn't fit in the car. And then we were like, what are we going to do?
Minivan.
Yes. So, even going to school and doing all of the things, with my career, I worked at USAA for a while.
What side of USAA?
I worked insurance and finance.
Okay.
And, I worked at Chase. I was very corporate at the time. But doing all of those things and trying to make my parents proud, it was like I did not feel fulfilled until, I was going to have kids. And then when we were told we weren't gonna, I was like, dang. That kind of sucks. And then they came, and now they are my life. Every decision that we make is theirs.
Well, as it should be, and I would imagine for those families out there that might be listening, you're trying to find the right home for your families. Maybe take a family person to help a family person.
Absolutely.
Or a military person to help a military person.
Yes.
So
definitely.
I think that's outstanding.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So in the near future, family time, a lot of memories. But they're 8, 9, 10 years before they go to college.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And it goes so fast.
Oh, tell me about it. I have two myself. I have a daughter named Marina as well.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, that was my grandmother's name. So
Wow.
yeah, that's my oldest, and they're 12 and 13.
Oh my
and
goodness.
So sporty, all that stuff.
Yes.
And Francisco's got a little girl too.
Yeah.
And so
how old is she?
7.
Oh,
She's close to 8, so she's not there yet.
Going on 18.
Such a fun age.
Yeah. They grow up in the blink of an eye.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They do.
She asked to go, my oldest asked to go to her first Halloween party the other day, and I was telling my husband, when she asked that, like I saw her as a baby, like in my arms. I didn't think how fast, that was going to come. And so if there's anything that my kids have taught me is just being so conscious and aware of time, which is why I do real estate, you know, like just, I don't want to miss
You don't want to waste your client's time.
I don't want to, everything, it needs to have a purpose. The minutes of your day, they need to kind of get you to where you want to be, but also like be quality time with whatever it is that you need.
And that's where the right home comes into play, where you can help them out.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
All of those things just kind of line up with, how are you using your time?
Outstanding.
As it goes.
For our listeners, would you share your contact information, like phone number, email, website?
Yes. So my phone number, again, I'm Linda Mora. You can find me on my phone, as my kids would like to say, 210-232-5952. I am on Instagram at livelovelinda. And then my website on realtysanantonio.com.
Outstanding. Francisco, you have anything else to add, sir?
No, thank you you shared a lot of information, a lot of great tips, and I'm really excited to see you in the future, see how you grow.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So
Air Integrity is behind you 110%. So
I love it.
Yes. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate your time and your energy and your expertise. So hopefully we'll see you again.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the opportunity.
And thank y'all for joining us this week on the Agents Lounge, sponsored by Air Integrity Comfort Solutions, your local leader in comfort solutions. We keep you comfortable. Have a wonderful day.
Yay.
You've been listening to the Agents Lounge podcast, brought to you by Air Integrity Comfort Solutions. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or to listen to past episodes, please visit agentsloungepodcast.com.